Summary: the Prophet bought a sheep and shared it among 130 people, ensuring that even those who were absent got their share. The Prophet was offered a poison-cooked sheep, but he chose to forgive the Jewess who had given it to him instead of punishing her. Sahih al-Bukhari 2618. Narrated Abdurrahman bin Abu Bakr, we were 130 persons accompanying the Prophet who asked us whether any one of us had food. There was a man who had about a saw of wheat which was mixed with water. Then a very tall pagan came driving sheep. The Prophet asked him, "Will you sell us a sheep or give it as a present?" He said, "I will sell you a sheep." The Prophet bought a sheep and it was slaughtered. The Prophet ordered that its liver and other abdominal organs be roasted. By Allah, the Prophet gave every person of the 130 a piece of that. He gave all those of them who were present, and kept the shares of those who were absent. The Prophet then put its meat in 2 huge basins and all of them ate to their fill, and even then more food was left in the 2 basins which were carried on the camel, or said something like it. Sahih al-Bukhari 2619. Narrated Ibn Umar saw a silken cloak over a man for sale and requested the Prophet to buy it in order to wear it on Fridays and while meeting delegates. The Prophet said, "This is worn by the one who will have no share in the hereafter." Later on, Allah's Messenger got some silken cloaks similar to that one, and he sent one to Umar. Umar said to the Prophet, "How can I wear it, while you said about it what you said?" The Prophet said, "I have not given it to you to wear, but to sell or to give to someone else." So, Umar sent it to his brother at Mecca before he embraced Islam. Explanations. The first hadith is about the generosity of the Prophet Muhammad. He was traveling with 130 companions when he asked if anyone had food. A man had some wheat mixed with water, but it wasn't enough to feed everyone. Then a tall pagan came driving sheep and the Prophet asked him if he would sell or give one as a present. The pagan agreed to sell one and the Prophet bought it and slaughtered it for everyone to eat from. He gave every person of the 130 a piece of that meat, including those who were absent, and there was still more food left in 2 basins which were carried on a camel afterwards. This story teaches us about how generous the Prophet Muhammad was towards his companions. Even though they didn't have much money or resources at hand, he made sure that everyone got their share of food regardless of whether they were present or not. It also shows us how important it is to be kind and generous towards others in our lives, no matter what our circumstances are, so we can help make life easier for them too. The second hadith is about how one should not be proud or arrogant when it comes to clothing. It was narrated by Ibn Umar that Umar saw a silken cloak for sale and asked the Prophet Muhammad to buy it so he could wear it on Fridays and while meeting delegates. The Prophet warned him that this type of clothing was worn by those who would have no share in the hereafter, meaning they would not receive any reward from Allah for their actions. Later on, Allah's Messenger got some similar cloaks and sent one to Umar, but he refused because of what had been said before. The Prophet then told him that he did not give it to him so he could wear it but rather sell or give away as charity instead. This hadith teaches us that we should be humble with our clothing choices and avoid being too extravagant or luxurious with them, as this can lead us astray from our faith and cause us to lose out on rewards from Allah in the afterlife.